I've given him some brands. He's tried that stuff, and now he's looking at regions that have the same stuff. And I talked a bunch about Chateauneuf de Pop wine. He showed up with a bottle of it, and he was like, "Is this a good one?" I was like, "Sit down. Let's crack it open." He took one sip of it and was like, "Oh, what the fuck?" And I was like, "Well, that's what happens when the vine's 700 years old." Like that's
yeah.
They have figured it out. Caitlin will flat out tell you though that if you were buying French wine and you were paying more than about $12, $14, you've paid too much.
Yeah.
Unless you were buying like truly.
It's like my brother asking me if is it worth it to buy $100 cigar? I'm like, no.
No.
They're worth smoking if somebody hands it to you.
Yeah.
I have smoked some outrageous shit that people have just like given me.
Yeah.
But if you told me that I needed to go spend a fucking $100 on
a stick,
it's happening. Wild. There's a couple of big labels that have made them. None of them have been worth it. And then there's some bullshit labels that fucking, like when Gurkha released their fucking $100 one, and then they released that $12 or $1,300 one that had drops of Napoleonic fucking cognac in it and shit. And I was like, fuck off. I'm not gonna lie, there's some $40 and $45 ones that I think are worth every fucking penny.
Sure.
But
we should start this episode, but I want to ask you questions. But you've probably talked all about it already.
What do you mean?
About the ayahuasca shit.
What do you want to know?
What was it?
We actually haven't.
Thumbs up or down?
We haven't discussed it on the show.
Oh, you haven't?
No, we just got. I went through it on Warfighters podcast.
He had done that the day before, so we didn't know if it was like, hey, let's do one.
Well,
behind it.
No, I wanted to sit down with Mikey and go like down the rabbit hole.
Like right at when it was fresh in my brain.
I didn't care where it got put out at, but I just, hey, I want you to talk.
I'm actually more curious about how you feel now.
Great.
Like, well, I mean,
so when you walked in, you still reminded me of the same old piece of shit you always were.
Yeah. I haven't started wearing vests and shit like that. Yeah, no.
You're not sober.
Didn't do that.
It was the only
check one block of being worried about doing it.
It was the only thing I asked him when we sat down to do the show because you had you were drinking like a coconut. It was like
I brought it in to fuck with Jazz. That's what like the joke never landed, but I brought it in just to. He
fuck had like
with
a
you.
Coconut. It didn't throw me off because you've shown up with other weird shit to drink. So I've been like, all right, whatever. But it was like 2 days off of it, and I literally were like, "So are you in the stage where like you're not supposed to drink right now or whatever?" And he's like, "I was supposed to give it 2 or 3 days," and then we drank the rest of the day.
Yeah.
Like it was
yeah.
So.
All right.
So
good. Any like urge to quit drinking?
No, because that's not what I wanted to do.
Okay. Oh, good. I think I'm in the clear.
I'm telling you, dude.
I saw JT go in.
Here's the thing.
Stop drinking for 6 months. I saw Tim Jansen do it.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm kind of worried. Like,
Tim Jansen. Wolf fucking.
Yeah.
Tim made choices.
Yeah. He switched. He changed a lot. Not necessarily in a fucking.
Where do you even get
unhealthy way?
Are you more or less
a leather vest?
Yeah.
It's about the same. Cruising. Just, like, like.
You don't have a leather vest that you wear in your motorcycle.
No.
Oh my! No! Not a cut. I mean, not like. Yes, I know where to get a cut.
I'm just saying. I don't know. Hot Topic.
You have.
That's hilarious.
Fucking dude.
That's
you and I had
hilarious.
completely different things in our head. Dude. I was like.
Now, if I had to give a quick synopsis of ayahuasca, it's like if you ate a bunch of shrooms, did a hero dose, you turn it up to 11, and then you stabbed it in the balls with fucking.
Hold on. Are you rolling? Oh,
yeah.
okay, cool.
Oh,
I wanted to make sure this was like.
And then you stabbed it in the balls with adrenaline, and that's ayahuasca. Like it's fucking amazing.
But it's in between puking and shitting yourself.
That's in between puking and shitting yourself. Yeah.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, did it like purge you out?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Like that's why the fasting, like, because you're supposed to, you do like a fucking 2-week fast, or well, it's a 3-day nothing but water right leading up to, but for 2 weeks before, it's like you're clean eating. You know what I mean? And I didn't think it was necessary. It's fucking necessary. You're gonna want to be as fucking empty as possible. Like,
so now, do you mind if I ask? Because you're supposed to go to this with goals.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you mind if I ask, like,
I
the effect you were after?
I wish I had my notebook on me. Fuck.
I mean, like bullet points. Like, what was the goal?
So it's true. You go into each ceremony with an intention, and that's kind of, and like my first one was I wanted to know, am I a good person? Am I a good dude? Am I being a good husband, a good father, a good friend, a good citizen? Like that's I wanted to know because I doubt myself on that shit a lot.
to be fair, you can't be good at all of those at the same time. They counteract each other.
True, but I wanted to know where I sat.
Right.
And so that was my intention on the first one, right?
So it was a self weigh and measure.
Yeah. And then after that, it was where do I go from here? That's where I followed on. And I told John about this on the shows. The interesting thing about it is I took 4 doses, right? I did it 4 times, 2 on Friday night, 2 on Saturday night. And every time, like I would be on this fucking wild roller coaster and it would fucking stop and I would come back to reality. And then when I took the second dose, it would start right where it started. Yeah. So it was like, it's literally, you're continuing a journey. And like the next night when I took the first dose, it started right where the last one started. Boom.
Wait, started or ended?
That's what he
or ended. Yeah. It started right where the last one ended.
I'm trying.
So it's like, I didn't miss a fucking beat in that. It was super crazy. And I'm curious. I think I'm gonna do it again this month at some point and do a one night ceremony. I got it like that with the shaman now. Army vet, by the way, 11 Bravo. Nice. Good dude. Real good dude. Wants to come on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wants to come on the show and fucking answer questions and probably bring us something. Yeah. But yeah. And then
did you learn anything?
Could you do a show while on it?
Yeah. Yeah, I think I did. And it's all internal weird shit. But yeah, I definitely think I learned a lot about myself.
Well, and that's what I'm actually curious about.
Yeah.
I don't actually give a fuck about the high. I'm just curious, like...
It's crazy. Everything that you've ever done is still locked away in your brain.
Yeah.
Like we can't recall it. Like you can't remember skinning your knee when you were 5.
Right.
Your brain does. Somewhere in there, that skin knee's in there, right? Ayahuasca unlocks that, and you can go back and like it's like reliving childhood sometimes. And shit like that. I mean, that's an experience that a lot of people report. I didn't have that personally, but...
So can you specifically dive after a memory you can't remember, but you want to? Like, can you go in there with that intention?
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe.
Or do you just free ball it?
That would be an interesting experiment.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I mean, that would be interesting for the whole... Like if you had a trauma that your brain shut off.
Well, like, so a lot of it's reading between the lines.
Can you dig that back out?
Yeah. A lot of it's like reading between the lines too. Like, so I kept seeing these crazy patterns in light on my hands. Every time I get high, I look at my hands. And I do that because it's like, this is home base, right? Like I know exactly what my hands look like no matter what, right? Like I see them every day. I fucking know. So
your
when
oldest sexual partner.
Absolutely. 100%. Yeah. This is Rosie and her fucking other friend, like, yeah. But like I kept seeing these weird, strange patterns all over my hands that were like glowing. And I was like, I'm tripping, right? That's fucking nuts. And then I realized it was every fucking scar, cut, scrape, or anything that's ever happened to my hands was glowing.
Oh God.
Since I was a fucking child. That's how I interpreted it. And I was like, holy fuck, I remember this cut. I remember this. I remember that. Da-da-da. Like it was fucking crazy. And it was like hey, remember where you've been type of, that's how I read it, right? It was like, just remember where you've been. You're a good dude. You've been through a lot. You're doing fine type of shit. It was like reassuring, and that's what was cool. So it was a hell of an experience, man. 10 out of 10, recommend it. Like,
what about if you can't remember? Like, that's the problem with me. I can't remember things, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Set your intention. I'd like to remember things. I don't want to be old and feeble and not being able to remember anything. Right. Yeah, that could be your intention. Yeah. But it's pretty wild, man. But the gentleman's name's Jonathan, who like all the stuff's from Peru. It's all fucking very legit. You don't only sit with ayahuasca, you sit with a couple other of their medicines too. There's one called hape, which is like a grounding medicine. John tried it. It's tobacco based.
It's really fun.
You snort it. You don't snort it. You blow it up your nose.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything besides make you very aware of your current environment.
Yeah, like it brings you to zero. You're like, oh, okay. And a lot of times that's paired with ayahuasca to like if, hey man, I need to get fucking grounded because I'm flying off into outer space. They do a hape serving and boom, it brings you back and you're like, oh, okay, thanks. It's very fucking interesting how they run it. And then the last day I was there, I sat with this medicine called changa. That's what they call it, which is ayahuasca and DMT that you smoke. And that, my friend, we need to be funding that shit. All right. That shit. It's drinking from a fire hose. 20 years of therapy. Like it's fucking wild, man. Like that shit was crazy. And honestly, it's given me a pretty good perspective. And to answer your question, I fucking feel great now. And now I'm over a week out. I'm fucking like 2 weeks out now. And I feel I've woken up better, feeling better than I have in the last 20 years this last week.
Do you feel like
it's fucking crazy?
It's fading with
DMT stays in your system at high levels for about 2 weeks.
That's not what I meant. Well, I guess maybe
for about 2 weeks, and you will feel some kind of euphoric
I think he means
effects and
the
such.
experience.
Yeah.
Like, how do you feel waking up this Tuesday as opposed to last Tuesday?
Right, that's what
I feel great. I feel just as great. Yeah, it's crazy. Like I don't feel like that part's faded at all. Like it's I genuinely feel good, which is an anomaly for me. Like I'm not used to feeling great, and being in a good mood and shit like that. Yeah,
cool.
Until I get behind the wheel, I think the next time I fucking take that shit, I need to be like, hey, can we do something about my road rage? Because
No. I drove to Grapevine and back yesterday, and
it doesn't matter how much ayahuasca you do; it's not going to fix other
it doesn't
people.
fix everybody else.
Challenge accepted.
I've put a lot of miles on recently.
Yeah,
I almost lost my shit yesterday. One time, like there was this. Oh god.
Yeah, I went there yesterday, and of course we stopped at Buc-ee's because it's illegal in Texas to drive past a Buc-ee's.
Yeah.
You have to stop. So I stopped, and I
take your Texas passport.
had a really good friend with mine with me and my wife, who was obviously very pregnant. And I went and parked, and some dude in this giant fucking Super Duty damn near hits my wife trying to park his car. And he gets in, I had to grab her and pull her back, and he parks, pops out, this fucking giant flag on his arm and the whole 9 yards. And I look over and I see the big DV plates on it. And I was like, don't worry, babe. He's disabled. We'll give him a pass. And I thought this motherfucker was going to fucking boil over on the spot. And I just kind of looked at him and I was like,
do you want to admit that you're a liar?
Go ahead. I'd hate to fight a disabled guy in the Buc-ee's parking lot.
That's fucking funny. He's disabled. We'll give him a pass.
Because he knew. Because he popped out and he looked at her and was like, and that's why I made the comment. And I was like, fucking. They're everywhere.
Yeah, they are definitely fucking everywhere.
So we never really kicked this one off properly because he just started the fucking thing. So
Justin doesn't care. He's probably already ran the fucking ads.
I'm sure he has.
Guys, it wouldn't be the Freedom Friends if we didn't talk about our number one sponsor, Warfighter Tobacco. Obviously, you guys have seen us all smoke them. We're here to talk about a quality product that everybody can enjoy. The great equalizer, as we've called it, the Warfighter Tobacco Stick. And it's not just cigars. They've got humidors, travel humidors, cutters, lighters, everything you need to get started on that journey. Check out warfightertobacco.com and use that code FTFO. Score yourself that sweet 15%. If you want to know my personal favorite, I'm a 762 Field guy. I like that Sumatra, real nice and even keeled cigar. Great for us beginner smokers, right? And I'm told that these taste even better when you're listening to the Freedom Friends podcast. Now, back to the show. This episode is brought to you by Grill Your Ass Off. It's no secret, we're all middle-aged dudes who love barbecue. Grill Your Ass Off is our main go-to for our spices. That's what we use, man. Whether you're doing burgers on the grill, steaks, or my personal favorite, a little bit of pork belly burn ends, right? They've got you covered on all of that. They also have salsas. They also have seasonings and spices. They got beer salts. They've got everything, man. Check them out. GrillYourAssOff.com/Freedom Friends Podcast, or use the code Freedom Friends Podcast at checkout.
He's already edited this.
Yeah. He's doing it as we go. He's like, fuck these guys.
I said starting recording. That's more than y'all usually get. Shit.
I
That's
don't
true.
remember you saying that.
He did.
See, Scott, this is why you need ayahuasca.
Maybe this is telling, buddy.
Yeah.
In all fairness, I didn't hear him say he was starting recording. I heard it for the
I heard.
the Patreon content. I didn't hear it for this one.
Speaking of Patreon content, go subscribe to our Patreon.
Yeah.
Jazz, this is
Put a
wonderful,
banger up.
by the way.
We put a banger up today.
This is wonderful.
Okay, so that bottle is the same price that we pay for James.
It tastes very similar to Jameson.
It's fucking good.
Yeah, it is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me judge this.
It's fucking good.
Now, that one is a little spicier, which it's 100 proof.
It's
That's
100 proof.
80 proof.
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
Like I said, this is, but as a daily bourbon,
Yeah.
as a just like people talk about like table wine or whatever.
It's easy drinking.
This is so easy to drink,
Yeah.
but the quality on it is
Yeah.
out fucking standing.
Yeah.
It is amazing.
I am
to
liking
drink.
it.
Yeah.
The 4-grain taste. We're talking about Penelope bourbon there for people listening and watching. Penelope is
Just their white label standard bourbon.
Yep.
This will become a new staple. It is good. I like it. It's got this sweetness that I enjoy. So
Yeah, that's wonderful. That's fucking wonderful. That's really good.
but I think if you put it next to Jameson, it's very similar in flavor.
Yeah, here, grab that bottle.
Well, that's not what I meant.
Actually stands slightly taller.
I don't know if you're funny or a dick.
I 100%
I'm not sure that-
smelled what you were stepping in immediately.
Like you said that Jameson
Yep.
bottle like lit up.
Yeah. Rare do you get to see a dad joke happen in real time.
With props.
Yeah, dude. Just shaboom boom. Fucking Justin's like micro content.
Well, shit.
Yeah.
I mean, I can see what you're saying. I mean, it's two different monsters to me though. Like Irish
I
whiskey
didn't- I
doesn't
didn't-
taste like
I didn't-
bourbon.
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
say
It's similar though.
I didn't say it was Jameson.
But I see exactly
I
what you're
said
saying.
for price point and quality,
If you want bourbon instead of whiskey,
it is
I agree.
this.
This fucks.
Yeah, I could drink the fuck out of that.
Yep.
It's very easy drinking.
And look,
it is.
it's not doing anything special.
And
No,
it's
It's just fucking good.
Yeah.
Like Jameson doesn't do anything special.
It's not-
It's just
that-
good.
it's not often that bourbon's refreshing.
Right.
Right,
this
but
is refreshing.
That's
it's
the
lighter.
bottle.
It's easy to drink.
That's the bottle where you're like, oh fuck, I just drank 3/4 of a bottle.
Yeah.
yeah. And
Because
you're
it
like,
was-
ooh.
Yeah.
I was
This is
thinking
gonna
about it, and
end-
I was like,
This is gonna end fun.
Yeah.
it could
Yeah.
be like when we all go to the float in,
Yeah.
and it's 100 and fuck outside, and we're standing in the water. I could put that in my fucking Yeti cup and stand out there. The problem is
Yeah, but-
you're still drinking 80 proof bourbon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like so,
It would drink like
That's-
twisted tea.
Well,
It's
that's
easy.
how Jameson gets you,
Yeah.
right? It's because Jameson doesn't drink like
This
an 80
is-
proof either.
but this is
And
very
Yeah.
easy to drink.
100%.
I don't see anybody going to the float in anytime soon.
Nope.
No.
Oh, there were fucking idiots out there
Well,
trying.
Two reasons. The reason that
Well,
I was
wait a
going to
minute.
talk about was their current pricing.
Is out
For two people to go there and
Outrageous.
bring a cooler and park, it's like $125 just to get in.
Fuck off.
Right? For a one day. Like I used to spend $125 for a season fucking pass.
Yeah, that's
Like,
fucked.
I'm all set. Thanks. But also the Guadalupe and
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's kind of
everything is fucked right
the tube shoot got a little radical.
Yeah.
Well, the interesting part about the tube
Pretty
shoot, that's the
fucked.
Comal. So that's a spring fed river.
Well, it was more than spring fed.
I mean, at that point,
like that's crazy.
Yeah. Obviously,
Because how
Yeah,
dry
there
it
are-
was.
the Texas flooding is quite the story lately. When I was driving home listening to Fox News,
And it's
and that's all they talked about for 10 hours.
and they're not even talking about anything that's remotely close to correct
Right.
or accurate or to scale.
Yeah.
Their biggest thing, my biggest gripe with the news in covering this is they focused on two camps in one city.
Yep.
and it's in
It is 100 miles of river
Yep.
that a quarter mile on each side of the bank got underneath fucking 30 feet of water.
Yep.
Like it is,
Well, like-
the amount of destruction is insane.
like you and I were talking about this earlier. When you hear on the news, like, oh, it raised 26 feet in 45 minutes.
Yeah.
26 feet straight up is one thing, right? Like if you're thinking about it,
But you
it's
could
like-
think billions of gallons had to do that.
well,
but it's,
But how does-
it's the width.
how
it's the
wide?
width.
It's the
Yeah.
fucking width of it.
So-
You're a mile fucking wide.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit.
also for those of you that if you were like
Look at
my
that.
wife and has a hard time with
That's
just
21 minutes in. Holy shit.
if you were like my wife and has a hard time with measurements, that means that a
So we're
3-story
21 minutes into the podcast.
No, that's
that's the
No, that's the timestamp on the video.
I know.
God damn it, it got
I'm
me
on
on that one.
today.
Fuck.
but 26 feet in 45 minutes is a 3-story building.
Yeah.
Up.
Straight up.
But
Yeah.
it went from 20 feet across to a half mile
across
wide.
in the same
Yeah.
in the same time.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
by the way,
so-
it wasn't. If you look at how wide the path of devastation that happened was, from like city to city. If you look at like how far away.
Mhm.
So the golf place I said I went up in Kingsland.
Yeah.
There's a place up there called Slab Road that I drove across. It looks like this, right? Because it's a thing up there they call the slab, and it's
Yeah.
a big
Yeah.
thing of rock.
Like I
Uh,
feel like these people driving across right now are retarded.
It all happened at once.
I
So
mean,
there
I
was-
would just,
normally-
I'd be glad to be on the side that I needed to be on.
Normally, as you're driving across that bridge, you got 30 feet below you that
Yeah.
there's nothing.
Yeah.
But all of these videos came out of the wall that just came down. So, and it was weird because I was like, "Fuck!" I was there last week,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden you saw this. I drove across that bridge, and then I
Yeah.
saw that. And there's so many of these videos that have come out now of just watching
Well,
that wall of water.
You know what I
just forward.
fucking hate is the conspiracy theorists on this.
God.
These motherfuckers that were like, they were seeding clouds and all this, which is true. They were seeding rain clouds out in West Texas like the day before, 2 days before. But that shit dissipates in like fucking 40 hours or some shit, or at the most, right? Like it was not a thing. It was not a factor. But these fucking conspiracy theorists and people who try to fucking politicize tragedy.
Also,
Oh, fuck you, man.
by the way, for South Texas, this has been an insanely wet summer.
Yeah.
It has done nothing but rain.
Yeah.
We've had major storms that rolled through. It's what got my store.
It's so
Because it was-
hardcore that the fucking my HOA is not even bitching about lawns right now
'Cause it was
because
what-
they're so out of hand.
What got my store, I think that night, it rained 7.5 inches in like 45 minutes
Yeah.
or something
Mhm.
like that. And that's what flooded my place.
Yeah.
So
We got like what did
it's
we get,
been-
15 inches.
it's
for
been
this?
like, it's
I
been
think more.
storm cell after storm cell after storm cell that's rolled through.
Yeah,
And so the problem with that is there's nowhere now for the water to fucking
because
go.
we're saturated.
Most of the time by this year, all of us are on water restrictions. They're telling you that like you can't water your lawn, you can only wash your car on Tuesdays, you can't do this, you can't do that. Like
Yep.
now,
Yeah, because when's our typical rainy season? It's not. It's like in
we get
Well,
we usually
early
so
June, right?
on
Fall and
on
spring.
our drought years, we don't get any rain June, July, August.
Yeah.
In I hate fucking saying it like this, but it is true. In El Nino years, you get rain all the way through July. And we're in an El Nino year.
Yeah.
yeah, but
We're,
this is
we're in La Ninas in our drought years leading up to
this has been aggressive even for
So now it's 100-year floodplains,
Yeah.
right? It's nature's way of doing what nature does. Also, the terrain, the area, the location, how this river runs, it's what it is.
Well-
Canyon Lake was built for flood mitigation.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was it. It wasn't built because it's going to be recreational and it's
Nope.
going to be fun. No,
That was
It
built
is-
to save lives.
that is the last reserve before there are no more hills and it is just plains. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Once you get past Canyon Lake, there's no more. You're not in the hill country anymore.
Yeah.
How much did Canyon Lake?
The last I checked, which was yesterday morning, it was up almost 11 feet.
Yeah.
Now,
insane.
I think I got to
how big that lake is and how much water. So, like for reference, and none of these numbers, you can't put these numbers to. They don't make sense, right? So the Guadalupe normally flows at about 110 cubic feet a second. At its peak, it was flowing at about 112,000 cubic feet a second.
That's fucking crazy.
You can't comprehend that amount of flow unless like this is what you do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Let's
Like
say it was
those
what?
numbers, they're
18 billion gallons.
it's honestly, it's like the difference when people are like, well, do you know the difference between $1 million and $1 billion?
Yes.
Like everybody understands it, but you don't really know because I've never had $1 million and I've never had $1 billion.
It's
Well,
And I've never
unfathomable to
gone
think
from
of.
$1 billion to $1 million.
Until
Ask
you,
anybody
until
to-
you watch that video where it shows the pallets of cash, and then
But-
you're like, "Holy shit!"
but
ask,
still,
ask your average person to do math with exponents in it.
Mm.
See what they do, and that's when people start talking about an increase in factors.
Yeah.
that's what they're talking about. We are not talking about like, well, that's 10 times as much, or that's
Right.
100 times as much. We're talking about you are putting.
to the 10th power.
You're talking about
Yeah.
120th power, 130th power, and when you start looking at that level of increase,
So
It's unmitigatable. Like you can't.
There's nothing we could have done.
No.
So John, when this peaked at 36 feet, right, or whatever it was, how long until it was like gone?
Until the water went down. It could have been hours.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not long. Like people that listen to the news, they think that we're still flooded. It's
It's just the damage. So essentially
it flows through and it keeps going.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but now
so
we
the-
just
so
have
the
30
way-
feet of debris.
the way a flash flood works is as a rainstorm sitting over an area, and Arizona is the perfect way to explain how this works,
That's
right?
true.
So there'd be flash floods in Phoenix, and it hasn't rained in Phoenix in 3 months.
Yeah.
Right. But 100 miles north
Right.
up in the mountains, they had a massive storm. And so when all that water finally gets to its drainage in that riverbed, it literally is a wall because it rained in one area at one time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right. It's not like it rained everywhere and it eventually just kind of filled in. No, it rained up there, and this is where the water drains.
It's like pouring a fucking glass.
That's it. It's the path of least resistance.
So
And
like
same thing happened in the hill country.
but for the most part, it's down now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
yes and no.
We still have high
Uh,
water levels, but not
Right.
fucking
But
rushing.
now what's
26
happening
feet.
is
Yeah.
any storm that pops up and drops water, that water everything is super saturated. There's nowhere to go. So it immediately creates a water rash.
Yeah.
So like I was up there.
Well, then you got debris clogging everything.
I went up there Saturday.
I was up there on Sunday.
Yeah.
And like we got pulled off the river.
Maybe it was Sunday. I went up there. I've been up there twice.
Yeah, we got pulled off the river twice that afternoon because there's water inbound.
Yeah.
The first one they put us back down, and then they called at the end of the day because it like legit started raining, and they're like, "Hey, we got like a wall of water heading this way." They pulled us up, and about 20 minutes later, we were like, "Fuck!" Like people were working right there, and now it's waist deep water.
Yeah.
Fast moving.
Right.
So
Yeah.
but yeah.
And you're right. They go out just as fast as they come. In Arizona, you used to see this all the time. People would fucking be like trapped in a flash flood in their car. They'd call the fire department. By the time the fire department got there, there's no water.
Right.
Yeah.
It's completely fucking gone. And they're like, fuck you calls for it. They're like, everything's wet. I'm not making it up.
Right.
Like there was there was 3 feet of water right here, and my Kia Soul was floating, bitch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like that shit happens,
But yeah, this water ran from where everything started flooding and all the reports came in Hunt. It probably ran about another 100 miles before it hit Canyon Lake.
Yeah.
And that is, flood mitigation.
Well, and I asked you earlier, I said, from the point where all the people went missing, they were finding bodies, you said, what, 70 miles away?
So
I heard up to 15. I haven't heard anything.
So the last that I heard, there were 2 boys that were found by Sisterdale that were around the Hunt Ingram areas where they got in the water is where the floods took them. And then there were 2 girls that were found on this side of Comfort, which from like Hunt Ingram to Sisterdale, that's
a trek.
Yeah.
Fuck.
You're 50 miles.
I was gonna say 40 miles
at least.
Yeah.
And that's as a crow flies. That's not even how the river.
And the river flows.
Right.
The river kind of flew wherever it wanted to.
It absolutely. But imagine being in that for that long and being that young. Like I couldn't.
I'm not gonna lie.
They were pulling people out of trees because they could just grab something
like
and climb
30
up
and
onto
40 feet up too. Like this wasn't like a tree, and it's like, no, you need to understand.
One of the things that the news isn't talking about is from Hunt, because that's where they're essentially starting, this incident from.
Yeah.
All the way to Canyon Lake. There's got to be 500 RV parks.
Yeah.
Along the river in that span.
You know what they're not?
They're talking about 2 camps.
Yeah.
Is that day of the entire HEB fucking convoy rolled out to the disaster relief
I'm telling
to
you,
multiple locations.
dude. I talk about it in my HEB bit, but it's not even a joke. Like
HEB is awesome.
I learned how fucking great of a fucking organization HEB was during Hurricane Harvey when they responded better than FEMA did.
Well,
and it's like
they responded day of.
And
people
they
had
did it
video.
again.
People had video of them on different
Convoys.
highways with multiple convoys that deployed. And
with their emergency response vehicles, they have
My-
them. Like they're
my
fucking
dad
awesome.
and I were talking about
How
it.
do you
And I
get
was like, here's what you need to know about that company. Like, it's cool to see that, right? But those weren't magnets on the side of a Sprinter van.
No,
These are
Those are
dedicated,
dedicated fucking vehicles that are
which means this company
Semis and 50
that are
foot trailers.
maintained.
are maintaining a fleet
Yep.
of emergency and not Well, we have a couple.
No,
They went to several locations
it's a fleet.
all at once. They are maintaining that all the time.
Yeah.
With or without,
We
there could
gotta
be
think.
years between something happening, and
How
they
many-
maintain that fleet fully
how
stocked
do you
and
get-
ready to
Hurricane
deploy
Harvey was the last
instantly.
time they deployed.
How many states have more natural disasters than Texas does?
A lot. We get pretty fucking lucky here.
Yeah.
I think so.
Are there HEB like the employees that do this?
Yeah.
Are they special?
They're dedicated.
So
dedicated emergency employees?
From what I understand, a lot of the ones that are in the disaster relief trucks are also EMT trained, and
Yeah.
they stay on
Ah,
staff.
sakes. Like,
So
how
not
do
only
you get a EMT job with HEB? That's fucking awesome,
Fucking
right?
dope.
Like,
but look at this.
If it
Every single one of those that you're seeing right now.
They're
look,
also mobile
look-
kitchens. They fucking
they're
set up
mobile
and
kitchens.
They
They're
feed
mobile
everybody
foods.
there.
And if you look in the
like-
back of every single one of those trucks, every single one of those has pump systems to be able to run generators. Like those are all fuel delivery, like all of that stuff. These guys, so that truck right there, going the extra mile for Texans. Fuck, dude.
Yeah, if
you
it-
want to know why I buy HEB branded shit? It's that
Yep.
right there.
fucking A.
let's figure out who the head of this HEB disaster relief
And
is.
send him a
and,
blowjob.
you know, that and get him on the podcast.
I'd love to.
Fuck, I would love to talk to that dude.
Like,
Oh, we do. Really? I wouldn't have thought of that.
Texas gets
You got to
fucked.
think
We're
the amount
so
of
big,
fires,
dude.
the amount of fires, the amount of tornadoes, the amount of hurricanes, the amount of floods.
Okay. I think
Maybe
maybe
show me a state that has more of that.
I think maybe we're fortunate here because Hill Country does block a lot of shit. Like we don't get the tornado problems that
San
the rest
Antonio
of
gets
Texas gets.
filtered out.
yeah.
We do. We get filtered out pretty well. Flash floods is a concern, but again, it's once every fucking 100 years. Fucking, we don't handle snow very well down here. But again, that's once every 10, 12 years. Fucking we're far enough from the coast that hurricanes don't fuck with us. You know what I mean? So like I think maybe I'm in a bubble. So
Yeah.
I'll eat my words. Yeah. My bad, dude. You're right.
Um,
You're right, John. I was
so-
wrong.
so here-
I was wrong, John.
you got
Holy shit, the ayahuasca works.
it didn't.
Fucking A, it does. Goddamn. Justin Noakes is the director of emergency preparedness for HEB. He leads the team responsible for developing and implementing the company's pandemic and disaster response plans. HEB's emergency response efforts include providing mobile kitchens, food banks, and supporting local charities during crisis.
Now, I only,
Justin Noakes, you're a good fucking dude.
I only trust this a little bit because I've had a beef with AI lately.
Yeah.
Because I used AI. I asked AI a simple question. I said, AI, where is my fuse for my cooling fan in my Can-Am X3? And it said under the hood next to the engine.
They're not wrong.
They are wrong because there's no hood and the engine's in the rear. And that's not anywhere close to where the fuse box is. That's a very generic question. So I said, AI, you're retarded. I said, AIs don't have a hood and the engine's in the rear. It replied with, oh, you're right. My bad. It's here. And I'm like, no, you're still wrong. Like it was all fucked up.
Yeah.
I don't trust AI.
Which AI did you use?
Yeah.
The regular AI. No, Gronk.
You use Grok?
Grok, yeah.
Okay.
Grok usually does me right.
Yeah, here. Yeah, I know, but I'm totally not too happy with it after that.
Oh, okay. I want
I
to
thought
talk
it was a
about
simple
something real
question.
quick because it just happened, and I'm glad it happened.
Okay.
Okay. The
Yeah.
people that tag at everyone or at
Oh, God.
highlight,
Damn it, stop.
I have a new mission. As soon as I get the notification, we are no longer friends, and I don't give a fuck who you
Yep,
are.
I
Yeah.
actually belong to a page in the cigar world, and it's a
Yep.
huge page, and I know the guy that fucking owns it, and that fucking owner tags me at everyone every
Him and I-
fucking time.
him and I
now
aren't
I'm-
friends
And now
anymore.
I'm leaving the fucking.
We're
group.
not friends anymore. And this dude, Bill, hey Bill, if you're listening and you just did a at highlight, sorry, bud.
The only place I ever do that is so my store, and no, I'm not going to give out the link, but my store has a dedicated Discord server.
Yeah.
And the only time I will ever do
Bill and I
that
aren't friends anymore.
is that when a new product comes out,
Do you know Bill?
Not anymore.
Did you?
but when a new
Yeah,
product comes
doesn't
out,
matter.
I will go into the channel specifically for that game that the new product's going to land on.
That's different.
And I will tag at here. Now, at that point, you are in my store's
Right.
dedicated Discord and following a channel for that product lineup.
That's different.
Yeah.
That's
It is also maybe once a quarter that I do it. These pages that he's talking about on fucking Facebook, I
Oh,
get
yeah.
tagged like 4 times a week.
Oh, I run Satmar. Let me tell you about a bunch of bro vets that fucking think their opinion's more
Yeah, there's
important
a
than
reason I'm
everybody
not.
else.
There's a reason I'm not in that page anymore, buddy.
Like fucking
Because I think you put me in that group in 2019, 2018, 2019.
maybe.
You put me in that, well, because of what we did and where we worked and all that kind of stuff. And you stuck
Yeah.
me in the group because we were doing some t-shirt shit and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And the amount of tags, I was like, I'm fucking
Now,
done.
good thing Facebook has a mute button now. So I'll just mute a motherfucker.
Yeah.
I'll be like, I'll slap their fucking pee-pee. And they'll be like, why did I get muted? Why am I? Because you're a fucking asshole that fucking tagged everybody. Fuck you. Like, yeah, stop inconveniencing people.
Here's my grok interaction. Don't be dumb and X3 does not have a hood. My bad, you're right. The Can-Am Maverick doesn't have a traditional hood. And then it says somewhere something. And then I said, it's a rear engine, dipshit. Ha ha. All right, I hear you. My bad for missing the rear engine layout of the Can-Am Maverick. But I went back and forth with this fucker trying to find my fuse box.
You had a full-on
should-
like
you should ask
conversation with
Grok.
the robot.
I know, right?
Ask Grok to give you a nickname based on your conversations. No, seriously, type it in and ask him because it'll go through your conversations and give you a nickname based on it.
Sweet.
You know what page I've never had that problem with?
Mm.
So I'm
Google?
a member of the Warfighter. I'm a member of the Warfighter Cartel.
Yeah.
Oh, no, not once.
Not once
Mm-mm.
have I
Nope.
been tagged on that.
Yep, because I know how it feels to be tagged.
Not
on it.
fucking once. No member of it has ever done it.
No.
No, nothing. All you ever get is pictures, typically of a Warfighter cigar sitting on top of a whiskey glass that just.
What I give you?
Spark. It's short, snappy suggestions and suggestions you're ready to ignite some great ideas. Yeah.
Just goes to show AI doesn't really know you.
Well, okay. Think back on any text conversation you had with Scott.
That's okay. Yeah.
What was the first part? Short.
Dude, I think Grok wants to suck my dick.
What's your nickname?
Enigmatic Trailblazer. This nickname reflects your curiosity for exploring mystical and natural places like the mountain valleys and riddle-inspired locations we've discussed, combined with your creative flair for transforming ideas into cartoons and tattoos.
Cool.
I've never talked about anything natural with this fucking robot. I don't know what the fuck it's talking about.
I've never used it, so I don't think it's going to give me much of anything.
So
Yeah,
gay.
I think I've asked like 2 different things with Grok.
I said, that's gay. He said, haha, all right, how about Mystic Maverick instead? It captures your vibe of diving into intriguing offbeat adventures and creative twists without any fluff. Still gay, dude.
I went to the X3 conversation. I said, based on this conversation, give me a nickname. And he called me Maverick.
Okay.
It's because of the X3.
Yeah, but deep down, that made you feel good. Give you a little Top Gun boner.
I feel like it's too generic now. It's supposed to be smarter than me. It's not.
I watched them both back to back actually this weekend.
Yeah.
I did. Dude, I had a weird movie. I watched all 3 Hobbit films, followed by the extended versions of Lord of the Rings.
Oof. You had a lot of time.
Yeah.
You got a
fucking
lot of
sick.
fucking free time.
Yeah, I was just I was chilling with the kids. Well, the cool thing, those movies are so fucking long. You can fall asleep, wake up, take a nap, and then you don't even miss the plot line. Like they're so fucking long. Like I think I did. I think
You
fucking
can start the first one, fall asleep, and wake up to the end of the third one and be like, "Oh yeah, it was a great movie."
yeah. Well, yeah. They're walking a lot of walking.
You need to get rid of this.
Yeah. Then you get what dildo Baggins walking around in there, right?
Dude,
Or is that the
you know
wrong
what
one?
though? Randall was right in Clerks 2.
It's 3 movies about people walking to a fucking mountain.
But the logical closure point, those 2 should have butt fucked. That should have been Brokeback Mountain on a Hobbit format.
What's funny is I love those films, but I hate the parts of the films where they cut to the hobbits.
It's always gay.
It's not that. It's just that they quite literally are just walking. It's just scene after scene of them fucking walking. Then they cut over like Viggo Mortensen that's fighting like whole fucking armies and shit.
Yeah.
Then it cuts back to them and they're like, well, we found a toad in the fucking valley. No, we got to haul this toad around.
Or they're fucking like sitting in trees that are walking.
Yeah.
Like,
Like I'm a fucking professional nerd. And
Yeah.
I do like those films.
I like them too. They're beautifully made, but they are pretty long.
When the second one came out, I went with my sisters to go watch it in the movie theater. And I remember it started, and then I remember them asking me to leave the movie theater because I was snoring too loud.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, my bad.
Yeah, Two Towers is kind of boring. If I had to pick one, that would be kind of a boring one.
Yeah.
Well, the problem is that it's a lot of build up to before you actually get to like the war scenes and all that kind of stuff, which are entertaining. But
Yeah.
Because my introduction to Tolkien and that shit was when I was a kid. They had the cartoons. You know what I mean? And the cartoons from like the fucking
the original Hobbit movie,
it was a cartoon movie,
which was mocap, which is why you guys there's guys in that cartoon that are tripping.
Yeah.
Like they're tripping over rocks. And it's like animated characters don't trip.
Yeah, those ones do. Those ones absolutely do. But like, so like, I already knew the storyline.
Yeah.
And as did fucking most of the world, right? You know, but
it's kind of like the best selling fantasy novel of all time.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like them and Harry Potter. They're fucking all kind of boop.
Tolkien still has to be.
Yeah, they're doing all right, you know? Like, yeah. Tolkien and Rowling, they did okay for themselves. But like I remember like when
Except for one of them's okay with the gays, and I'll let you guess which one it is.
Rowling's okay with the gay, she's not okay with the trans.
She's not okay with anybody anymore.
She's fine with the gay. She made
Good honor, though.
Dumbledore's gay.
She didn't make that.
Yeah.
No.
Had to have.
No. She didn't make those films. And they're not books.
The Fantastic Beasts ones?
They're not books.
That's true. They're not books.
Her Twitter is amazing.
Yeah, I do follow her on
She
Twitter.
goes hard in the paint and doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
It's great.
And she's brilliant.
It's
So
amazing.
it's real hard for people to argue with her. They try.
We're all broke and we say whatever the fuck we want to on the internet. Can you imagine
Yeah.
if we were billionaires?
Well,
Right?
Not only that, but
Just think about that.
they went pretty hard against her. So like,
Oh yeah.
because
She
Of
sticks
her-
to her
yeah,
she sticks to her
because of-
fucking guns,
yeah.
man.
The-
She
and
refuses
it's
to back
amazing.
down
She
to him.
literally, what she literally ran into is she
She's
invented,
uncancelable.
she invented something that got so big it was no longer hers. And that's gotta be weird. It's gotta be weird to invent something so huge.
Well, like you know me, I'm a Harry Potter nerd.
Yeah.
And I'm actually concerned about their casting of Snape because they casted a black guy for the fucking HBO
Which
series.
doesn't
hold
follow
on.
the books at all.
Harry
At all.
Potter, the whole entire series is over.
Yes.
Yes.
Nothing else they put out is Harry Potter.
Right.
It's some bullshit that
Honestly,
they're trying to push on
The
people. to
only
make more
canon
money.
Harry Potter at this point are the original 7 movies.
That's
and the
it.
books.
It's done.
Now, and don't get me wrong, like I
You can't. You had characters that died.
This goes to show that they are
keep 'em.
completely creatively bankrupt
or not
Yeah.
in
they-
all of Hollywood.
Oh, yeah,
There's
yeah.
nothing.
And this
I
is
said it
HBO.
wrong.
I assumed HBO would have a little bit more integrity, right?
Their character didn't
But
die.
it's wrong.
The person playing the character died.
Yeah.
So you can't continue that character in the story
I love the internet.
with somebody else
No.
playing it.
The internet
That's not how that
is-
works.
Well, they did it
that
with
sentence is
Dumbledore.
too long. When he died,
Mhm.
when Alan Rickman died,
That was it. That was
was-
the end of Harry Potter.
you can't. There is nobody better to
Yeah.
play that role.
Yep.
That was
I would like to see. I would like to see Adam Driver take a shot at it though. I think fucking
You know what? I would have been okay with that.
right. Like I would have been okay with that one. I would have liked to.
But could you imagine if they tried
But
to like,
they made him a black guy, and it's like, dude,
read the book?
read the book. That's not a good look. Like the fucking like his parents, like his dad was this dude's bully. Now he's gonna look fucking racist and shit. like because they're all white, man. Like
Well, in the
fucking
book, he's literally described as like
hook nose,
pale-skinned,
pale
so white is the
hook-nosed,
white.
like sunken eyes, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, just an unattractive fuck, which Alan Rickman nailed. He nailed it.
Well, this would be like that's like I still have not watched the reboot of True Grit
Me neither.
Yeah. No.
because it was a principle thing. I was like, we didn't
We didn't
need
need this.
another one of these.
Yeah, we didn't need this. John Wayne was a fucking master.
Like that,
like yeah.
that movie was fine. Well, they announced that they were going to reboot Princess Bride, and the entire world fucking exploded.
Yeah,
It was
the
like,
fuck you will.
you will do nothing but lose money. None of us will fucking watch this.
I
They're
won't.
like, all right, fuck. Well, yeah, shit.
So do you
Yeah.
think it's the caliber of writers of why there isn't anything new that's
It's because
No.
we've
I
done
think it's
so
I-
much.
I think it's the financing.
yeah,
You have to show proof that it had made money in the past.
You are 100% correct. It is now, there is no creative endeavor. It is strictly a balance sheet.
Yeah.
Like,
And if
I'm
you
not
go
going
like,
to take a
well, this
risk on
IP's
something
money.
new.
it's just about P&L.
I know what this did.
But so
That's unfortunate.
the flip side of the same coin is like you look at John Wick, right? That probably grossed a decent amount.
It's
Of
made
course.
some money.
And then you look at anything Disney's put out the past 10 years where they tried to reboot something that was already done and it fucking flopped.
Yeah.
It turns out that people actually do like
New shit.
original story.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, John Wick's not really an original story.
The first one was. But then
Even
the
then,
second
it's-
and the third and the fourth and the
Even
fifth.
it's not really, it's a vengeance story.
It
Like
is.
it's not new.
It's but it's not based.
And-
it's not like John Wick was made by somebody else. and
Yeah,
they
it's
just
not a
rebooted John
reboot from
Wick.
the 80s.
It's
Like it's
Fast
an
and the
original
Furious
story.
with guns and
The
karate.
most annoying one to me is the 400 Spider-Mans that have been out. Like, get fucked.
Well, and now they're gonna give Andrew Garfield his third one because they didn't finish the Amazing Spider-Man trilogy. So
Okay,
they-
I liked him as Spider-Man, so I was okay with
yeah,
that.
but now he's like 40.
Yeah, now he's a little old.
He's supposed to be a high schooler.
Yeah.
Now he's like 40.
Well, that's why I like how they tied it all in with the fucking
and they're putting the
in the MCU.
and they're putting the original trilogy back in theaters.
I saw that.
Cash grab.
Like that's how bankrupt Hollywood's gotten.
Yeah.
Is fuck it, don't even make a new one.
There's 10 Spider-Man movies.
Yeah, it's insane.
Did y'all hear?
And you know
about-
what's fucked up is 10 Spider-Man movies and he doesn't get laid in a single one of them.
Well, at least they're consistent.
He's a nerd.
Yeah.
Which female lead in the Spider-Man movie would you rather bang?
Yes.
I quit watching them. Now, let's talk
I'm
Transformers.
going
Gun.
I'm going Emma Stone
Guns.
as fucking Gwen Stacy.
Emma Stone
Zendaya.
was hot up through.
You're showing your fucking youth.
She's hot.
She's a stick.
She's a child.
Who?
No.
I could
She's
be your
a
dad.
Stick. Zendaya.
I don't even know who that
I've got a better figure than Zendaya.
Now, I will, however, say I think Tom Holland is my favorite Spider-Man.
He's a great
I
Spider-Man.
think he's a great Spider-Man.
He's a
I-
great
I
Spider-Man.
stopped watching them after 2.
Yeah.
Well, the first Spider-Man movie was just an Avengers movie, but it was a Spider-Man movie. Like, let's face
It
it.
was an Avengers movie that was
It was a
billed,
Spider.
that
it
was
was a
billed as a fucking Captain American movie because it was
and it
Civil
was-
War.
And it was, really
like-
it was really a Spider-Man movie.
it was yeah. It was or an Avengers movie.
But it was really a Spider-Man movie.
We were more excited about Spider-Man than anything else. When they
It was
put
the-
that on the trailer, we
it
were
was
like, I'm going to the fucking theater.
It was the best part of that entire movie.
Yeah.
Was having
I
Spider-Man.
don't remember.
And you found out that Marissa Tomei
I think
was
I've watched
Aunt May.
like 3 or 4 Spider-Mans.
You
but I
know,
don't-
you know what I had to watch the other day when I was at my mom's house? She had the A-Team on.
Oh, nice.
When's
Fine.
the last time
you
you
had
watched?
to watch or
It's
you
been a
got
minute.
to watch?
No,
Yeah.
I walked
Go.
into it. And I'm like, I got sucked in.
Fuck yeah, you
It's
did.
hilarious.
B.A.
Show or the
Barabbas don't
movie?
fucking play,
What's
dude.
that?
The show or the new movie?
It was a TV series.
Fuck yeah.
The old TV series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude.
But they were playing women at
Yep.
the time undercover, and it was hilarious.
That's fun.
Yeah.
The old show was wild. I liked the new movie.
Yeah.
I don't know if I saw the new.
Yeah, I thought Rampage did a good BA. Actually,
It was great.
I mean, granted, Mr. T's not that hard to follow, but yeah. Like, yeah.
I remember
I
thinking
liked the
Mr.
new
T
movie.
was huge when I was.
He was.
The
No.
only
No.
it was for the era.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah, but like
Fucking
nowadays,
monster.
like he's not. Pull up a picture of Mr. T, Justin.
Not now.
Oh, pity.
You got to pull the one from the 80s.
Yeah, the old school Mr. T.
yeah, pity
Like,
the fool,
he's-
Mr. T.
He's not any bigger than any of them.
Yeah.
He's the same size as all of them.
He just has a cutoff and a chain.
Yeah, not a chain. All the
All the chain.
All the chain.
Yeah,
If it was real gold, he would have 400 pounds around his neck.
yeah. Yep.
Oh,
he-
what did they say? His necklace, like his chains weighed. It weighed a fuck ton.
It was like 60 pounds.
It has
Yeah.
to be.
that he
If
was
it,
walking around.
well, if it was real gold.
I
it
believe
was,
it
but that
was.
was the 80s when that.
Those-
But each
yeah,
one
gold
was changed
cheap
was
then.
$100.
yeah. Fuck.
But, yeah.
But if you haven't seen the new movie, you should watch the. It's not new now. I think it's like fucking 12 years old.
Yeah.
Now, but
I'll have to watch.
I feel like if we
I wanna
put
go
that
back and
put
watch
that
the
back,
series.
Justin, real quick.
Yep.
I feel like if we were the A-Team, we got Scott down here. That's John and me, and then Jazz is BA. That's what I'm thinking.
I get to be Bia Baraka.
I think you're BA, dude.
Is it my van?
I think it's your van.
Oh,
I think
sold.
it's your van. Although I own a van,
Which one's
I still think it's your van.
which one's Mr. T?
That would be BA. That would be Jazz.
The black guy.
Oh,
No, Jazz is probably
before my time.
he's probably the villain.
With those
You failed as an older brother on that.
He's got a father. I don't know what the fuck.
That's fucking debatable now.
My children have never seen the A-Team.
But they probably know who Mr. T is.
You haven't watched the movie?
probably.
I've seen the movie.
Okay. So
Yeah.
B.A. Baracus,
Oh,
the only black guy in the movie, is probably the same black guy in that fucking picture.
I just know that is Mr. T.
That is also
B.A.
Mr. T. He was B.A. Baracus in the original A-Team.
That's Mr. T to me.
I can see where you'd be confused.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you thought it was two characters.
They tried to make it as simple as possible.
Yeah.
It's only one guy
My buddy,
that fits the description.
my buddy Crawford, I deployed with to Fallujah. He's the blackest man I've ever met. Like he looks like he's so dark. He's under the bed dark. He's so fucking black.
He's so black,
And-
he's purple.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah.
He blurple as fuck. That's what he called his nuts. He's call him his blurples and stuff. He's funny as shit. He's so fucking funny.
Man got blurple balls.
But we called him BA all the time, and it just stood for black ass. It would be like, what's
Still
up?
a great fucking nickname.
Oh fuck yeah! So his like name was BA forever, and because every fucking morning he's fucking slept naked. So we'd be on ship, and like there's not that much space between the racks, man. And I'd fucking roll over, look out my coffee rack, and just see this fucking huge black fucking blurple ass, and which I would punch almost every fucking morning. You get a butt punch, I'd be like, get your fucking ass out of here, like, all the time, dude. It was like, what are you doing,
So black, you can see him through the sheet.
dude? It was fucking. His favorite porns were monster black dicks with little white chicks. So it was like just these fucking hammers, just look like mag lights, fucking wrecking ladies.
That
Man.
wasn't porn, dude. That was home movies.
I know, right? No, it wasn't. I was like, they'll be like, oh, you like that? Wishful thinking, you fucking little dick bitch. I used to fuck with him a lot. Like him and I, we were close.
Boys,
During this whole conversation is about him sleeping naked and how he fucks. Yeah, I'm gonna go with you guys were close.
Yeah. Gay straight guys on the planet, dude. Fucking Marines. But we called him BA.
on the movie stuff,
Why
we're
you
all
like to come on your tummy.
It was way after that.
we've everybody's a fan of Iron Man, right?
Yes.
Have y'all been seeing the new Ironheart show is getting shit
You mean the
on?
one that's already canceled after fucking?
Yeah.
What's
I think
Ironheart?
they
So it's a
shot it down.
TV series that they did, and one of the quotes in the movies is, "Do you think Tony Stark would be Tony Stark if he wasn't a billionaire?"
Yeah.
And then everybody's taking the clip from Ironheart or
He
Iron Man.
built this in a cave
Yeah,
with a box of scraps.
and it's like, yeah, I think he'd be Tony Stark if he wasn't a billionaire.
Yeah.
Like that was literally the premise of one of the first movie.
Of the one that started the whole thing.
Yeah.
The one that's responsible for the entire MCU.
The one
Yeah.
that literally saved that franchise.
Yeah.
It saved Marvel,
For sure.
not the franchise. It started the franchise. It saved Marvel Comics.
It also-
as a whole, the company was gonna go under.
Mm-hmm.
It also saved the actor who is
Yeah.
Tony Stark.
Oh, yeah. RDJ was
yeah.
actually Mel Gibson saved RDJ.
So there's a show on Netflix called Fubar, and
Mm-hmm.
Arnold Schwarzenegger's in it. And I don't know if you guys, the season 2 just went out. And so we watched it. And it's not a spoiler or anything, but it's a great scene in one of the episodes. And he has, Arnold Schwarzenegger has a great throwback. And they're sitting there in the scene and he looks around at everyone and he's like, I'll be back. And then he walks like 4 steps, he turns around and he's like, in a little bit, I have these things I have to do.
I love a good fourth wall break.
There's a show coming out on Hulu that's called Alien Earth. And it's about the xenomorphs actually landing on like our planet.
Yeah.
And us having to do it. And Caitlin really wants to watch it. But she's never seen any of the Alien movies.
Is it
And so she came
connected
to me.
into that?
It's part of the universe.
Okay.
And so she came to me and she was like, "You're a fan of the Alien movies, right?" And I was like, "Don't even get me started." And she was like, "Well, I've never seen any of them." And I was like, "Okay, here's what you need to understand.
First of all, you need to know who the fuck Rigsby is. Let's go.
Here's what you need to understand. They are, first and foremost, horror movies. They're sci-fi, but they are horror movies."
For sure.
And I was like, "And they are brilliant. But I need to know how many of them you want to watch."
How many are there now?
Well, it depends on how many you're looping into the universe.
Go on.
So there's Alien and Aliens,
Yeah.
which are perfect. They're
Masterpieces.
perfect cinema.
Yeah.
Exactly what when we used to go to the theater and the floor was sticky and you sat there with your paper bucket and that's what you wanted.
For sure.
Then you start going further down, you get like Alien Resurrection, blah, 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 blah.
than the Predators.
But then there's also Prometheus
Yeah,
and all of the other ones that go back.
That's a prequel, correct?
They all go back and start talking about the architects, the ones that invented the xenomorphs and all that kind of stuff. So I was like, there's a lot. And I don't know how much of this you want to. Here we go.
Aliens.
Alien 3.
That was mid.
Alien Resurrection. I don't count the AVP stuff. It is a crossover film because Predator and Alien
came out in 79.
Yes.
Oh yeah, dude.
Holy shit.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Wow.
And it's 100% practical and it holds up. Go watch it.
Yeah.
Go
Yeah.
watch it.
I watched it recently.
Watch it tonight.
Still good.
I would have guessed late 80s.
No, go watch it.
No,
It's
still good.
perfect.
Still holds up.
Ridley Scott knows what he's doing.
Do you think his name was Scott Ridley and he just changed it to make it sound
No, he's
better?
British.
Oh,
Yeah, they're
makes
backwards
sense.
as fuck.
Um,
Scroll down a little bit.
I don't count the AVP films, which is Alien versus Predator and Requiem. They are technically connected, but whatever. So Prometheus and Covenant, and then Romulus, which came out last year, which was also fucking brilliant.
I really like that one too. Yeah, I
I
thought it
haven't
was good.
seen any of them.
So, but
Romulus
they had to
was
start
solid.
doing this, where they had to do Alien Covenant and then Alien Romulus, and it's because nobody understood that Prometheus was a goddamn alien film, and
Yeah.
nobody got it. And it has to do with there was like a very humanoid race that went out and then started blending their gene with another gene, and that's what started spawning the fucking
Wow.
xenomorphs. That's why the xenomorphs are the perfect killing machine because they have the intelligence of a human,
They've been engineered.
but they are as
I'm gonna
lethal
go,
as any
I'm
predator.
going to go watch them in the correct order now.
Well, I think the correct order.
you can skip AVP.
if you wanted to correct order, if you wanted timeline order, you would start with these three and then hit Alien and Alien.
Scroll down.
Alien
There's a
3.
chronology page. Scroll down. I know this page. Here we go.
Okay.
So chronologically, this is how they're actually released.
Really? Okay.
Really? Ted?
So, well, some of these
Quiet Eye?
some of these don't count. So like Happy Birthday
Clearly,
David and stuff
yeah.
like this is people fucking with the page.
Whoever put Ted in there is a fucking legend.
Right. So this is chronologically, if you want to watch it in the timeline of the universe, this is how you're supposed to watch it. And then Alien Earth,
No, that's are these books or are these movies?
some of them are books and comics.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
But then you get into some of these others that happen. So Alien Earth is actually supposed to roll all the way back to, because it supports the idea of AVP, where the predators were sending xenomorphs to our planet and then sending predators in to fight xenomorphs to prove that they were hunters. And so Alien Earth is supposed to be part of that they've been here the whole time, which is why there was the film where it's like in Incan times and they're fighting a predator that supports that whole, that the predators have been coming here for a while.
It's the Chupacabra.
Well, we're nothing more than a hunting ground. We are no threat to anything in the predator race.
What? Clearly, they haven't met us.
I believe Arnold Schwarzenegger with an M60 would disagree, sir.
You son of a bitch.
Okay.
Keep in mind that was one, because that's what they do. They send them one to hunt the whole planet. One. Like, so
Yeah, if he had had like one other dude, if he had a battle buddy, like we'd
It'd
have
have been
fucked.
fucked.
Yeah. Yeah.
clearly haven't met. I'd be the first one to fucking die.
Yeah.
Fucking predator show up, be like, go ahead, dude. Just fucking.
Yeah. Put your 3 dots right
I
here.
ain't
Just
in this
fucking like, yeah. You can keep my skull. It's cool. Can I be one of your hangy skulls? Like when you
I want to be on your cock flap.
Any last requests? I do, and it's weird. you're gonna judge me, but
I think it's weird. We're gonna drink this bottle, smoke this cigar, and then I want to be one of your cock flap skulls. That's. I'll let you have the kill. He'd just leave you alone at that point and be like, that's not a hunt.
I know, right? If you make
Well,
it
if
too
we-
easy for them, they're like, ah.
If we do it in Texas, does that count? Like,
Well, in Texas, it would be
just put the bottle on a feeder and I'll just walk out to it and just. And then you can just shoot me. Like it'll
just a
fucking,
gerbil of Penelope.
And the 3 of us will be in the blind. You're the bait. Like, look, Jazz doesn't even know. We'll just put a box of cigars and a bottle upside down by the feeder. He'll just be out there the whole time.
We just L-shaped ambush the fuck out of that thing. It's fucking. Ugh.
reminds me of a hamster feeder, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's it.
A bottle of booze.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hanging,
They make
hanging
'em-
next to my desk. I'm out.
They make them for cows, so you can just
Good
go
idea.
with
Good
bourbon.
idea.
Put one of those on my desk. It's just got the bottle. You just lean over.
Oh fuck. All right, this has gone on too long.
Probably.
Hey, thanks for listening, everybody. This was just we just got a
Oh yeah, what's this?
we got a thing.
So Dalton placed an order during our 4th of July sale. Actually, I think it was just after. Either way, it might have been during the sale.
Missed it,
Um,
fucker.
But he sent a message in asking for some Freedom Friends love on the package.
Oh,
And so we responded with, "Hey man, like we only record once a week, so if you don't, as long as you don't mind waiting to receive your order, we'll hold this back and we'll put some Freedom Friends love on it."
Yeah, I'm not gonna write on that box, but
I already teabagged it.
yeah, you're gonna have to just sniff it to
yeah.
get my mark.
It's the docking sniff.
Smells like his mic.
Mm.
I guess.
I'm gonna take one of them long edges of that box and just fucking crack it. Have a nice like. What if you left like a shit stain on it? You shit stained his box. Here you go, Mr. Male Professional. Enjoy carrying that one.
Pretty sure that's a
I-
Geneva violation.
It's
I
gotta
have
be nice.
biohazard bags in the back. We can probably we'll be good.
Just put his shit in
I
the
bought them
bag.
during COVID. They were on sale.
Hilarious.
Well, before we sign off, want to give a shout out to Graham M and Big E for
Grab M and Big E.
buying the boys some drinks.
Fuck yeah, boys.
Yeah.
We appreciate you
And
guys.
this last dick.
I
Yeah.
am. I am too
Yes,
much of a
and
nerd.
Chase, dude.
Chase.
Biggie,
Chase.
if you're listening to this, I need you to send a message in and tell me if that is actually your name or if that is a reference.
I'll bet you his name's Eric.
No,
Or
because we had a
Elrod.
conspicuously sneaky orc that also chimed it. So we're getting more and more references that like 20% of this room gets. And I want to know, Big E, is that your actual name or is that a reference piece?
I just watched Scott do math.
Sure did. In real time. 20, 40, 60,
He
80,
did.
100, 20. Oh. That's what we just watched happen.
If I put it in mils, will you understand it?
Maybe. I don't know the conversion from mils to percentage.
MRED. You fucking MRED. Shit. Yeah. But hey, fuckers, we appreciate the hell out of y'all. Especially our Patreon guys, dude. With for real, you're keeping this ship fucking floating. So thank you. But I'm gonna raise my glass, boys. Cheers to you. Thanks for being my freedom friend. Cheers, boys. Yeah. And it's 3 little things, guys. They're pretty easy to do. They're not hard. You can do them at home. You can do them with a friend. You can do them fucking whatever the fuck you want. And the first one is Jazz.
Shop at HEB.
John.
We're about to masturbate, boys.
That's not yet. The other one. The first one is.
Smoke on.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, you said we were doing something with friends, though, right?
That's the other show.
Justin.
Oh,
You could do Justin.
Drink on.
Thank you. Fuck me.
God damn it.
Freedom. Fuck on. I'm out.